So today is the 10th, T minus 15 days till Christmas. You guys get all your shopping done?
No,
Sure, you done?
Nope.
we do that like 2 days ago.
My goal this year is to have all my shopping done before Christmas vacation starts. I've been a school teacher now for 29 years, and every year Christmas vacation starts, and the first thing I do is go spend a day and a half or 2 days wandering around, driving in terrible traffic, just finding things to waste money on. So this year, my goal is to have it all purchased and done and wrapped and under the tree before the last day of school.
I'll give you luck. Good luck.
I know.
Yeah. Today is the 10th, and we are going to be writing equations in point, slope, and then converting them into slope intercept. So this assignment today will not have multiple right answers. Today's assignment will eventually, final answers, the ones we put boxes around, they will all be the same. There will be a right answer, and that's nice. That's one thing about math that I've always liked. So that's the goal. We're going to write our equations just like we have been, but I've alluded to this a couple times that now we're not just going to stop at the y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. We're going to take it a step further and convert it over. So let's get to it. So I have 10 examples. They don't take very long. So for our first example, we have a point. So we're going to talk about a line that goes through the point -4, 5, and its slope is 1/2. So if we were, I shouldn't even say it that way. Like how would we write the equation of this? Just the way we have been, what would it say?
Points.
Point slope. Yeah, that's what we're going to start with. You got it. Nice. Thanks. Well done. Thank you. So this to this point has been where we stop, right? What we're going to do now today is we're going to convert. And this is not difficult math. I don't think. I'm sometimes maybe not the best judge, but this part of the assignment today, like if Surik and I compare our papers as we're doing today's homework assignment, this step isn't the end. Like, and if we were doing this off a graph, our answers could look different. I mean, we're not doing it off a graph, but like there could come a point where these answers might be different, but what we're about to work towards will all be the same for all of us. So anyone want to take a shot at what we could do to get it into the coveted y equals mx plus b? It's okay just to follow your instincts. And even if you say something really stupid, like you should feel welcome to do that around this place. So any thoughts on what we might need to do?
Maybe take the x on the end, switch it with the slope in the middle, or add it with the slope in the middle, and then take the -5, the -5 right there and put it at the end of it.
I like part of that. Let me ask you this. What does the white equation have that the red equation does not?
Plus b. No.
What does the white equation have that we don't want to be there? Because if we want it to look like the red equation, there's something that can't be there. The parentheses, very good. And so how do we get rid of parentheses in math? That's what we do. We distribute. So get used to this. This is going to become an every problem kind of thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the slope, the 1/2, and we're actually going to distribute it through. And when it goes through, it multiplies here. You know how distribution works. And then it turns around and it multiplies here. Distribution is like I'll multiply by as many things as you give me in parentheses. That's how I roll. So the left side just stays as y minus 5. What's 1/2 times x? Oh, that's looking good. We see a little bit of that y equals mx plus b sort of nature starting to show up. And then watch out, this is not a tough fraction question. What's 1/2 times 4? Yeah. It is 2. Always remember that with nice fractions like that, you can change the word times to of. Of means times. And so if I said what's half of 4. That's the same as saying what's 1/2 times 4. Now, when I look at that new white equation, I see like I made some serious progress, but I'm not quite there. What's the last thing to do?
Get Y by itself.
Get y by itself. It's official, and there's only one thing to do. What is it?
Add 5.
Add 5. Correct. And you can show your work. It is December now, so you don't have to do a little cute little +5. Just promise me you won't mess it up. So if I add the 5 across, clearly I add it to, well, the 2, not the other one, because they're not like terms. And I get y equals 1/2 of x plus 7, and I am done. And that one can have a box.
So you just keep on doing the equation.
We convert it is what we call this. Yes. So we don't stop at point slope this time. What we're going to practice today is we're going to go that extra mile. We're going to distribute and get it to say y equals mx plus b. Okay. And there'll be a third combatant eventually to enter the arena. Standard form just won't show up today. But eventually I'm going to have you guys like doing the triangle going from point slope to slope intercept to standard. And we should be able to swap between the 3 of those at will. That's the final goal here. Right, 1 down, 9 to go. Let's go again. Round 2. I have a point. His name is 6, 0, and the slope is -1. So again, what I need is my foot in the door. I need that first point slope. The point slope is our foot in the door, get started equation. What's it going to say for this problem? Nope.
Y plus 1.
You could put y minus 0, but check this out. I'm just going to put y equals because by definition, I could put y minus 0 because that follows the formula, but putting -0 is like, what a waste of lead, right? So I just put y. When the y is a 0, I just leave it at that. And then I'm going to put my slope, which is -1. And then I'm going to put my parentheses, which is going to say what?
X minus.
Good. And this one is actually almost done, right? We don't have anyone to move. We do, however, have to get it into y equals mx plus b by doing the distribution. What's the first distribution going to yield? So y equals -1 or just -x would be, of course, fine. And then what's the y-intercept going to be?
Plus.
Just like that. Done. So sometimes it's a little bit of a quicker conversion if you have a 0 for your y coordinate, because then that saves us a step at the end. Example number 3. That one didn't take very long, huh? You'll have a little bit of discomfort with this problem. So you'll see this on this one, and you'll see it again. A couple of examples, like 3 or 4 examples from now. So what's going to happen to us is sometimes we get fractions like this that are a little bit more outside of our comfort zone. But let's do our due diligence and start first. Like this step involves almost no math, right? You figured this out from doing the last couple of homework assignments. That point slope, you don't really have to do any math, right? You just got to plug stuff in. So what is my equation going to say?
Y minus y plus 3.
There you go. Good catch. Equals
-2/3. X plus 3. No, X minus 9.
job, buddy. There you go. Again, sometimes that's where we stop. Not now. So as always, this this doesn't change. Like it does. We don't go rogue and start doing like we distribute, move every single problem. This first distribution is never stressful, right? That one's a stupid question. If I distribute, I don't have to do anything. I just have to literally attach the slope to the x. Like big whoop. It's this one that that really starts to cause stress for people. So I'm going to show you the trick again. And we've talked about the fish hook, I assume. You guys know the hook that we do
Yeah.
to multiply? Does anyone, first off, let me ask you this. Does anyone know what 2/3 times 9 is? Ready, go.
6.
It is 6. Some people get that real quick and some people don't. So I'm going to switch colors to red over here. I'm just going to remind you how we do 2/3 times 9. We do 2/3 times 9, and then we draw the little hook. We have talked about the hook, I presume. So you take the whole number and divide by the bottom. What's 9 divided by 3? What's 3 times 2? There you go. So you divide, grab the answer, and multiply by the top. If that vexes you, which it does for some people, then you can go all old school mode and put 9 as 9/1 and then do your thing this way. What's 9 times 2? What's 3 times 1? And what's 18 divided by 3? Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we're going to get 6 whether we like it or not, right? So you best get comfortable with that process of working with fractions. And on this assignment, the fractions are all friendly. I made sure that they all hooked out nicely. That won't always be the case, but for today, just I would say keep practicing that divide and multiply hook because it feels good when it works. Anyways, that's not the final answer. What's our last step?
You gotta switch that readout.
Yeah, let's move that sucker to the other side. So the negative 2/3 of x is unaffected. What's our y-intercept? Oh boy, because we subtracted 3 from both sides. Okay, to close up this little tiny section before we head to the bottom, I do have a couple of, as you would expect, sort of special cases. What has not come up yet today?
Um,
Well, here, I'll just show you. That hasn't come up today. And I put this in the instructions, but these problems, as always, break the mold. Don't follow directions on these problems. Don't try to turn this into something big with some big formula and some distribution. Like I would be so proud one of these years if everyone could just see this forest through the trees. This is not a big thing. What kind of line has a slope of 0? A horizontal, right? And what is the equation of a horizontal line?
Y equals.
You write y equals, and then you pick the y, which in this case is 7, and you put a box around that. As I put in the instructions, you'll see that these do not fit the mold. These are not start, point, slope, convert. This is what it is. So occasionally these get sprinkled in, and you should just look at them as a gift. You know, not the kind of gift you say thank you for, but just the kind of gift that saves you time. Horizontal and vertical is a joke. And predictably, after this would it be, well, the other one. So you know where this is headed. But here's a point, and let's say that the slope is undefined. What kind of line has an undefined slope? Vertical. And how do we write the equation of a vertical? X equals some number. And it's not some rando number. It's the number that is the X in the point, which in this case is -8. Box it up, send it, done. So watch out for those. They break the mold. Every other problem is routine. We write the point slope, we distribute, we move. These ones, they're their own little breed. Okay. All right, a few more. You want to guess what's going to change? No. The math doesn't get any harder, but what changed?
Oh, yeah.
We don't have the slope, and that's a pretty common thing. It's a pretty common flow for any teacher at this point in the lesson is to say to ourselves, now what do we do? And the answer is find it. Like if you don't know the slope, the answer 100.0% of the time is find it. That's why we need you to be so good at it. So what's the top subtraction problem on our slope going to say? That one, 1 minus 4. Good job. And what's our bottom subtraction going to say? Go in the same order, 4 plus 2. And then we hope, as always, that the math doesn't vex us. Like we shouldn't be getting hung up on this math by this age. So what is 1 minus 4? -3 all day long. What's 4 plus 2? What's the slope? -1/2. Happens all the time. Don't worry. And so here we are back to that point in the lesson when we get to pick a point, right? Listen, Peyton might pick the first point just because it's the first one he sees. And Jeff might pick this point because it doesn't have any negatives in it. At the end of the day, they might get 2 initial answers that look different, but they're going to come back to a common ground, right? So which point would you guys like to use, green or purple? Purple it is. And so I'm going to take this point and very politely give it a little cross to say, like, I don't need you anymore. So what is my initial equation going to say for the purple point? It's exactly what we just did before.
y minus 1 equals -1/2.
Perfect. And again, what's different today is that we're not done. So what do we do next? We distribute, right? So we get -1/2 x, and then just please don't listen. I know it's hard, we're human, but try not to make rinky-dink garbage errors. What's one? No, it's -1/2 times -4 plus 2 all day. And what's the last move? Add the 1, and you get y equals -1/2 of x plus 3, and that's what today gets the box. The box is always a big deal. It kind of signifies the end of the road. This one, I put a tricky fraction in. Okay, just so you know, because I want you to have exposure to fractions that aren't quite as simple. So for this one, we're going to have the points -6, -3, and +6, +5. And again, the answer to what do we do first is, well, find the slope. What's the top of our slope going to say?
5+3.
Absolutely. What's the bottom of our slope going to say?
+3.
Absolutely. And then again, don't let the math, did I put 5 + 8? Apologies for that, guys. Don't let the math be the reason that we missed this, right? What's 5 + 3? Yeah. And 6 + 6. So what's the slope?
No, 3/4. 2/4.
It's 2/3. Nice. Well played. All right. So you want to reduce the demon out of everything that you can. That's just a thing. We don't ever not reduce, like is what we do. Divide them both by 4 and you get a nice clean slope. And again, we're at the point where now we can pick a point. I would say that probably 90% of people are going to pick the 6, 5. I don't know. Maybe that's not true, but that's the one I'm choosing since I've got the fake pen. You're welcome to do the other point and meet me at the end. Be a fun thing to do, kind of fun. So my equation is going to say y - 5 equals 2/3 of x - 6. And here we go again with fractions, right? We're not scared. So we're going to take the y - 5. We're going to distribute the 2/3. And here we go again. Pop quiz. What is 2/3 times 6? Nice job, bud. -4. And again, if you need to see that up close and personal, it looks like this. That's 2/3 times 6. Draw the little hook. 6 divided by 3 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Okay. Last step, add 5. You get y equals 2/3 of x plus 1. I'm sorry that I do have 3 more examples, and I know that I'm pushing my luck with the gods of research and science who say that you get 20 minutes and then people check out. I need you for about 4 more, okay? And then it'll be work time. So stay with me. So for this third from the last example, and I would kill these at this point if they didn't have purposes, but they do. So sorry. For this one, we're going to have this. And I chose this problem because I wanted the slope to be something that we need to talk about. So what's the top of my slope?
3 - 5.
Love it. What's the bottom?
4 -
Love it. Now we do math. What's 3 - 5?
-3.
What's 4 - 2? +2. Then what's the final answer? Love it. So I just wanted to have this opportunity to talk to you. We saw this in one of the first examples, but I want to make sure we're clear on how to deal with a -1. So which point do you guys want? First or second?
Second.
Okay, so 4-3 it is. We'll just give this one a little polite slice out. All right, don't ever vandalize that to the point where we can't see what it used to say. Just give it a little cross. So my equation is going to be, of course, y - 3 equals, now this is what I wanted to talk about. You could put negative here, or you could put -1, right? And then inside the parentheses is going to be x - 4. Good. What's my next step going to say?
Y - 3 equals -x plus 4.
So nice to do this job when you guys' basics are so in line. I love it. Excellent execution of that process. And then the final step is to love it. So we get y equals,
-x plus 7.
yeah, absolute joy. Okay, guys, just 2 more quickies, and these ones will go quick. Got it? Anyone want to guess what they are?
Probably the same thing.
Well, kind of. Once you're a pro, that problem is actually, it should take, I'm not kidding around, 3.5 seconds. What do we notice right away?
They're the same.
What's -7, Peyton?
Y.
We're done. The answer to this problem is done. Thank you. Y equals -7. That can be confusing. So I'm going to go through this just real quick. But to you guys who are ready to greenlight that, if you do that on a test, you'll have my full blessing. I won't ask questions. I won't go, hey, how'd you get that? I get it. Okay. But when we go through and do the slopey method, the top is going to say -7 plus 7. The bottom is going to say -2 minus 4. And it turns out we really don't care about the bottom because the top is 0. So the bottom is like whatever. 0 over IDC is still 0, right? And if the slope is 0, what kind of line? No.
No, it's zero.
Horizontal. Thank you. And horizontal equations get written like this. But I mean, you can save a lot of time if you just spot it. If the y's are the same, you're done. And of course, the last example, you can see right through me. You know exactly where we're going with this. So I could put 3, 124, 3, negative 1,694.2 repeating. Hey, guess what the answer is? Done. Don't you start with me? X equals 3, right? And so again, if you wanted to go through the whole process, go ahead. Subtract your y's, subtract your x's, figure out that your slope is some number over 0, then connect the dots and say, oh, the slope is undefined, and then connect the dots and say, oh, it's a vertical line. Or just cut out all those middlemen and just make the observation. If both x's are the same, you got your answer, right? Any questions? There you go. All right, I'm going to pause this. I'm going to hand out your worksheets.